Welcome everybody to another Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show. We are your hosts. I'm Michael Mickey Williams Jr. This is my beautiful wife, Linnell Apple Williams. The Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show was created to inspire, encourage, give hope, and to stir up the greatness that people have inside of them. We have a great show today. We have Sister Lonzetta. She's going to be on sharing all the great things that the Lord has done in her life and continue to do in her husband's life and her ministry. And she's also one of the minor adjustments facilitators in Atlantic City at Turning Point Daycare Center. Again, we also want to thank all the individuals out there who always support us in any type of way. So I always want to give honor to honor where it's honor, give honor to where honor is due. So we thank all the people who support us. No matter how you support us, you can support us in prayer. We prefer you to pray for us always as we do what God has called us to do. Again, the Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show. We have the Minor Adjustments Program. And you can go to the Minor Adjustment website to learn anything about the Minor Adjustments Program. We do a lot of different things. There's not just one particular thing. The Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show is just one part of overall Minor Adjustments group business-wise. And we have the Minor Adjustments 8-week program. And we also next year we're starting to do the Minor Adjustments Sober Living Houses as well. The Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show is on your screen again. It was created to inspire, encourage, give hope, and to stir up the greatness that people have inside of them. We believe that it's an inside job. Minor Adjustments motto is anywhere but backwards. Anywhere but backwards. And that came from Jeremiah 7:24 that says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they followed the counsel and the dictates of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards instead of forward. Anywhere but backwards. And that's where Minor Adjustments build our foundation off of that particular verse. And again, we have a lot of great things in store today. We have a great show for you today, as always, and hopefully a lot of more people will tune in. And even today, we will start doing one of our shows. We will have like a question show, different questions that we will pose to different viewers in online, and have them. We'll answer the questions online. Let me see. Anything else I need to go over before we start now that you can remember? Let's see. Anything else? Told you about the website. Again, I have 8 books that I have published. You can also go to the Minor Adjustment website and you can see about all the 8 books there. Just go on minoradjustments.org and you can just go to my authors page and see about all the other 8 books, all the 8 books that I have written thus far. Again, the Minor Adjustments website and the Minor Adjustments mission is Minor Adjustments Talk Show was created to inspire, encourage, give hope, stir up the greatness that people have inside of them. Let me show some pictures of our guests. 1 second. That's a picture from graduation. Oh man, that was a great day right there. That was one of the pictures from a graduation at the Turning Point Daycare Center with Miss Lonzetta. So proud of her. Okay, let's see. I got one more. That's another one with Miss Tracy. Miss Tracy, I always want to pray for her too, that all the great work that she's doing in Atlantic City at the day center there. All right, with that being said, we're going to bring up our guest. We're going to bring up the guest.
Hello.
And introduce Miss Lonzetta. How you doing today, sis?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm so happy. I'm just grateful for God just allowing me to be a vessel that He wants to use.
Yeah.
to help others come through whatever it is they come through. I'm just grateful. No complaints about anything. Happy to see y'all face. It felt like we sitting in the living room together, even though I know we not.
That's what we do. We do. That's why we created this. We've been sitting home and we be doing a lot of different things, and we want to just reach out to a lot of different individuals and do all the things that we are doing and have people be a part of it as well.
Right.
Um, go ahead. You can start. Introduce yourself to the people and
Hi,
tell us a little bit about yourself.
hi, everybody. I'm Lonzetta. Um, wow. I come from Atlantic City. Um, I didn't grow up saying that I wanted to be in a drug addict, but I ended up being one. And it took a long time for me to get an understanding that that's not what I should have been doing. I have a great husband. Oh my God. I don't know if I would have been in his shoes, I don't know if I would have been able to handle what he handled. But coming through, I remember being in Seabrook and I remember being in a room and I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, "Get up, having you laid there, having you laid down long enough." And I got scared because there wasn't nobody in the room with me. It's just me. And I'm like, hold up, let me get up. So I ran to the meeting. I was raising my hand like, listen, y'all, I ain't going back in that room. I'm up. And I've been on the run for the Lord ever since.
Wow.
So, and my husband is just a great guy because he always encouraged me, babe, keep going, do what you need to do. But coming through that, it taught me a valuable lesson not to take my life for granted. Like, be able to sit still and let God mold me and shape me even more. And I'm grateful about being a part of minor adjustment because the women that I come across when
Yeah.
I'm talking to them about it, and I'm like, oh, you'll meet them eventually. You just have to get through the 8-week program. They'll show up. They will show up. This is him and his wife, and a couple of them like, okay, I'm coming. I even went through the village with the flyers, and I was passing them out. Like, listen, y'all could come. It's nothing. It's no obligation. It's just trying to show you how to make minor adjustments in your life. You know, it's no obligation. You'll just learn some stuff. You'll learn some skills. You'll
Yeah.
get some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are scared of it because they think it's some kind of strings attached. No, you're just gonna get better in life. That's it. So, and I had a young man say to me, "Wow, sis, I'm grateful that you doing that. Keep up the good work." So I'm happy to be a part of the program.
Yeah.
And
I'm
everywhere I
happy
go,
that
I
you are too.
always talk about minor adjustment anywhere but back. I tell the ladies that I have two ladies in the group right now. The third one, she's on vacation. I'll see her when she comes back. But the two that are there, they're diligent.
Yeah.
And they took flyers, they passing them out. The young lady that had called, she was calling from Crossroads treatment. She went to school. She was in the treatment with one of the ladies that's in the group.
Yeah.
So she's out doing what they out passing out the flyers and trying to help build the group up. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna give up. I'm gonna stay encouraged and I'm gonna continue to be there. And
That's what's
God's gonna send who He needs to send.
yeah.
And sometimes it's one person at a time,
Yes, yes,
especially with women, because sometimes um, I'm learning that when we're in a group, in the larger the group, a lot of times we don't want to disclose
mm-hmm.
exactly what we're going through or thinking or ask the questions that we might want to because we don't want other people to judge us
Mm.
or sit and gossip about our situation. And a lot of times we say what we say here is here, but in today's world, a lot of that's not true. So it's more intimate when it's a smaller group or one-on-one. I'm finding, especially with women. So
Yeah,
don't
and
worry
then I
about the large
and I
group.
always tell them like they like, well, why don't you have the men here? I said because that ain't the area God sent me in.
Oh,
I
that's
can
good.
encourage them, but
Yeah.
He ain't sent me there. That ain't my area. I ain't there yet. And when
No.
He's ready for me to be there, I'll be there. But until then, I'm just going to continue to help the women. And y'all know I work at a facility with women.
Women.
Right,
Yeah.
So I can
right.
kick it around a little bit, but I can't do a whole lot. but I do get it in. And I always say, you know, anywhere but back. That's my motto for everywhere I go.
Anywhere but backwards.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
anywhere but back. And that's a great thing because, and I explain to them, like a lot of times, you're right, sis, women are, they consider us the weaker vessel. You know, when Eve, the adversary, he went after Eve. She was the weakest vessel. So every time the enemy wants to come, he tries to come after the woman because he thinks that she's the one that he can grab faster or easier because she's weaker than her mate or her being by herself. And when women are uncovered and they don't really have a foundation, they can't get where they need to be at. But women like us can help them and let them know, listen, we've been through this and this is what we had to do to get out of it. And I always tell people, like, I had a long run out there in Atlantic City. And some of the people that I grew up with are still out there on the longer run. But I just thank God when he opened the door, I was smart enough and willing to walk through it.
Amen.
And everybody's not ready. It's in everybody's timing. But what I want you to talk about a little bit with our guests and the guests that are going to come later is a lot of times we have guests on here
Right.
and I ask them to share with the people some of their struggles that they made it through. So I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to ask you to do that, but I don't want to start there. I want to start because finally, you know, I have someone on here and I didn't have the issues when it came to drug and alcohol. So a lot of times when we have our guests, they can relate to my husband, but you had a spouse that hung in there like I did.
He's right here.
He not too far, right?
He's never too far.
You had a spouse that hung in there, and like you said, it was hard. What does that mean to you today? When
Girl,
he's
you gonna
still
make
right
me
beside
cry. You gonna get ready to start crying.
you? That just shows people the realness.
Yeah, what? Go ahead.
Wow. Whew, I would not want anybody else in my life. I could not have, could not have sent a better husband for me.
Mhm.
Um, he always told me, I love you, and I'm not gonna give you credit for being as, and he said stupid, as
Mhm.
you're acting. I believe in you. And he always say to me, I love you more than you love yourself sometimes. And I'm like, okay. And my heart get filled up every time I talk about him because he's my ride or die. He there when nobody else is there. He done seen me in some dark times. And I have the utmost respect for him because he could have walked away. But that wasn't God's plan. God's plan was for us to be able to encourage other people and help some other couples that are struggling in that area that might be going through just the opposite.
Mhm.
And it's funny how God placed y'all in our life because now we have a story and it all ties into the same thing. But I don't know. Every time I think about the man that I'm married to, I get filled up. We get ready to come up on 28 years of marriage, and I'm so grateful. Listen, oh my God, I can't even talk about him the way because I'm excited I just get a joy because he's the one that helped me up when I couldn't hold myself up. Like when I was lying, cheating, the running around the corner, telling him one thing and doing something else, he was like, I'm a stick and stay. He used to follow me, y'all, through Atlantic City, and I never knew that he was following me. I would turn around and he would be there. And right before I got to the cop spot, he would be there. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't going there. I was going in another direction.
Wow.
But all the time, God had him protecting me. And he never, ever picked up a drug, ever.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful for that because that's powerful. When you have a mate that can hold on and stick with you and don't give up. And we
Yeah.
didn't have a relationship with God at the time, y'all. We was just all over the place. So
Mm.
our relationship didn't come till after I got clean.
Mhm.
Once God delivered me, because once he delivered me out of what I was in, when I became willing, he delivered me. And I said to a couple of people, because, you know, I teach Sunday school, and I said, it took me a real long time, right,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to get myself together, because I was asking the Lord for help, but I wasn't asking him to deliver me. I wasn't asking him to deliver me.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started changing and shifting and allowing him to deliver me out of the mess that I was in, he started pulling stuff out, because we as people want to take the little branches and say, here, God, you can have this, but I don't want you to take this, but I don't want you to take that. But he wants that root.
Yeah.
And until I was willing to surrender that root, he couldn't do the work that he needed to do, because he needed to
Amen.
work on me as he was working on my husband. Our story is so unique because he was ready to divorce me.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. And our spiritual leaders stepped in right on time. Because
What
I
church
had
y'all go
said,
to?
Redeemer Love Christian Fellowship, 506 South Pomona Road, Bishop-elect William Oatman, and co-pastor Alicia Oatman. Y'all know she got her CD out, right?
I've known Alicia for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah,
She can
yeah.
sing.
She, you know, and they mentored us, and they helped us, and, you know, they groomed us as we allowed God to continue on. Because once I went to treatment, when I came out, it wasn't no turning back. It was
Mhm.
like, I'm not doing that. I
Yeah.
I even got delivered from smoking cigarettes. I had, like,
Mhm.
I don't even know how much time. And I always say to people, you know, I am grateful because I had a willing heart to allow God to change me. Because I used to say, one day God gonna deliver. I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna get out of this. I ain't gonna always be stuck in this. I don't always want to be high. I ain't gonna always be this person. And my cousin used to be like, people mistreat you, and you still be kind to them, because I didn't want to be weighed heavy on my heart. And at the time, I didn't know, when I was saying, Lord, have mercy on me, I didn't know I was praying a prayer all that time. But like I said, until I surrendered and asked for the deliverance, I couldn't get where God needed me to be. And I'm well on my way now. I'm just sitting, I'm just enjoying it. I wish my husband would come on and join in with us, right? To come be a part of minor adjustment. I'm still praying in that area, because one day maybe he'll be there, you know. But I know if I need him, he will be there. So I can say so much about the Lord and the things that the Lord has done for me, and the things that he's still doing for me, because I can get honest. I can honestly say to the women in this group, like, I'm not perfect. I'm
Yeah.
here just like y'all are here.
Mhm.
Just as well as y'all learning from me, I'm learning from y'all.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And one young lady was so excited. She was like, oh my God, I was going somewhere else. And I wasn't happy there. And she said, look, I'm happy here. And we was going over the lessons, and she was like, the questions that's being asked in here, I already answered them. She answered them before she even knew they was in the book. So I'm like, praise God. Chills was running down her arms, and she's persistent.
They
So
was
listen,
they
it's a
was
great thing.
that, and actually I wrote those questions from the mindset of when I was going through what I was going through. At the time that I wrote the book, I wasn't actually going through them, but I went back to like the mindset or the questions that I had when I was going through. That's why when people read it who are going through something, they're like, these the same questions that I
Yeah.
know, because they was the
Yeah.
ones that I had myself when I was sitting somewhere thinking like, what about this? What I'm here for? Why is this?
Hmm.
What can I do? And all that stuff. So that's why I put all those questions in there like that. And so at your church, you say you teach Sunday school
Yes.
with the adults or kids or
Adults.
oh nice.
Adults.
Yeah,
I
that's
hid from that for a long time. I tried to hide behind my husband a lot in ministry. And God was like, nope,
yeah,
you going to the forefront. And I'm like, oh boy.
that's
So
good.
it works. It works.
Yeah, yeah.
I still try to hide a little bit sometimes, but God's not. He ain't done. He ain't letting me hide. He's pushing me forward. You know, one Tuesday I sat at the Turning Point Day Center, and I was sitting there, and I was like, God, you know, ain't nobody coming. Nobody is showing up. And I need you to, you know, show me if I need to be here. And I had went out, and a young lady called and said, I'm here. And
Hmm.
somebody said, you know, don't leave before the miracle happened. And I had to turn around and go back, because she
Yeah.
was there. And I said, you know, I came back because I gave you my word that I was going to be here. But in
Yeah.
the midst of me getting discouraged, I left.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine said, "You left before the miracle happened." And I said, "No, I didn't, because I made it back before the miracle left out the door." And she
Come
ain't get a
on.
chance to leave out the door. Because I broke north back around there. You could have seen my car. You probably just thought I was popping a wheelie to get back. No, don't go nowhere. I'm coming back. And she's been diligent right there. She's
Amen.
been there the whole time.
So let
So,
me ask you something, Miss Lonzetta. I heard you say that you went to treatment, right?
yeah.
Okay, where did you go?
Seabrook.
You went to Seabrook
Seabrook House.
House,
Yes.
and
Yes.
just once.
Yes.
So you only
Yes.
went to treatment once.
Actually, I tried methadone.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I tried methadone.
Didn't
I
work.
ain't knocking it. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because me and my mind said, why am I giving you all my money when I could go out there and get something from the cop man and continue on my little messed up journey that I was on?
Without
I
looking.
wasn't right in my head. So, you know, when you manipulating in your mind and you can manipulate, you do what you do. You can still be on methadone and still manipulate. So
Yeah.
I had to get off of that. But I remember I had did something, and me and my sister, my god sister, was getting high in the house, and she was like, let's go to church. And we went to church, and my pastor's wife came off the pulpit and she said, you're going to ruin your life for the rest of your life. I said, I think I already did. She gave me a couple of instructions and told me, you know, go to your mother's house and don't move. And you know, when you in that kind of situation, it's kind of hard to stay still.
Yeah, that's true.
But Big Mama wasn't letting me out the door, so I ain't had no other choice but to stay still. Because, you know, you don't mess with my Dukes. When she say do something, you have to literally do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up going to um, Seabrook 2 days after Labor Day, I believe it was, or
Hmm.
Memorial Day, one of them 2 days. Um, and my husband had to take me to treatment, y'all. Let me tell y'all, that was the worst ride I had ever had in my life, because you know he was already filled with anger. He didn't know how to deal with his anger, and he just woo. He said some words. He done took me for a ride all the way from Atlantic City all the way to Seabrook, and it was not a happy ride, especially when you feeling bad. You don't want to hear nothing nobody.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you in withdrawal like that, you don't want to hear nothing. You like, oh, can we hurry up and get this over? But I actually heard him for the first time out of
Well,
all the years.
you heard them, and that's one thing. A lot of people leave out. When you're in love with someone who is struggling with an addiction, you go through things as well. And I
Mhm.
used to tell my husband, when you would go away to treatment, you were getting help for your addiction, but I was left out here to handle whatever. Pick
Oh
up
God, you sound like my husband.
bills. Right. We would so and we could never discuss the things that he did because it went against treatment.
Right.
But when he would come home and go back out there on the street, we couldn't discuss anything either because he just didn't care because all he was chasing was that next high.
It might
Yeah.
make you relax.
So right, that'd be his excuse. So the person that loves that person struggling, we have our own issues that get pushed back
Mhm.
that we don't even deal with because all we see is this, and
Yeah.
at the same time we don't have anywhere to turn or get help to express how we feel and to get it.
Right.
That's why I love when he went to America's Keswick. That was the first program that had um smaller programs that helped like the
Mhm.
mother, the sister, the fiance,
Right.
the wives, the kids.
Kids,
They
something for
had
the
it was
kids.
all inclusive. Like while they're in treatment, you get a counselor and you get therapy.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so happy with you and your husband because
Me too.
you guys can be that extra part where it may be a couple. It's not just that one person, but the
Mhm.
couple. You had the one person struggling or going through that, and then you had the person that loved them, and you got two people who can relate to both sides. That's what
Right.
makes it so powerful. When we work together, a lot of times it's always a couple. Someone didn't use drugs,
It's
Yeah.
always.
right?
It's not too
Yeah.
often both of them. It's
Right.
always one or the other. It
Yeah.
could. It don't matter if it's the man or the woman or the man. It's always seemed like it's one person that has the situation and the other one. And sometimes it's I think I don't doubt it at all, but I believe God knew. I obviously he's all knowing, but it's so orchestrated that way because like your husband can help some. Like my wife said, he's like her. You know what I mean? He's like her. She was him. He was her, and that's how it be sometimes. And a lot of times that be the power that y'all have that y'all can use to help other individuals with that testimony alone.
You got both parts.
Both of them,
and it's so awesome because when I can talk to these individuals and they want to talk about what's going on with that person that's struggling, but I get to remind them, you got issues too. Because sometimes we're so focused on that person, we forget that we have some problems too.
Right.
And did your husband ever get to that point where you're like, you know what, wait a minute, I had to look at me too?
Yeah.
Right. And you know, I always say to people, like, listen, it's not just my disease. Like when I was using, it wasn't just my drug habit, it was his too. He just wasn't using, but he was struggling watching me go through what I was going through, and it wasn't nothing that he could do to help, because the kind of help he wanted to get, it wouldn't have been the kind of help that I got from Seabrook. Let's just put it like that. He probably he probably would have had me chained down in the room somewhere with some shackles all boarded up and only bring me a meal 3 times a day if I wanted to eat it.
We try. If that's what it took, we would try it.
Yeah.
We would try it.
Yeah, that's where it went. That's where the whole thing went. The whole thing went one way, but then God brought it back another way, and I'm ever so grateful. But let me tell y'all the funny part.
Yeah.
We had an African gray parrot. And the parrot was the one that told him that I was getting high in the house.
No.
Yeah, that little talking parrot. She loved me, but she was his best friend.
Yeah.
And she told
him. Yeah, she really told. And I couldn't understand, like, really, what is going on? But he knew. And it didn't even have to take the parrot, because God probably had already showed it to him. And I'm gonna say this and really mean it. We was not saved.
Yeah.
We were not saved. So we came out of a worldly lifestyle, and both of us had to be taught how to connect to God and then learn how to love each other. Because he used to be like, you going to all of these meetings, but what about us? Yeah. What about us? What about me? You can't, you can't keep forgetting about me. And I started paying attention, like, listen, now I know I got to do this. So now it's like me and him are together. People be like, can you come and no, I can't. Me and my husband got a day off and we gonna spend that day together. So it's like it's a change when you surrender and submit and allow God to show you as a woman how to submit to your husband, how to become submissive to your husband, while he's becoming willing and allowing God to do the things for him to be the strong head of the household. You got to come up underneath that. And for me, it was kind of hard because I come from, you ain't telling me what to do. I'm going to do it my way. To, okay, babe. Yes, babe. Okay, I understand. Now, do I go there sometimes? Yeah, but I try to stay away from that area because he is the head of the household. I can't do what the head of the household could do. He can't do what God can do. So we got to stay on that plain level field and work together.
Chain of command.
Chain of command.
Yes. Awesome, right?
Chain of command. And I understand what you just said, because, well, when he would go away, when he would come back, sometimes he would go to different rehabs, and it's like 21 days, 28 days, 30 days the max. And he would come home, and immediately he want me to listen to everything he say, finances, whatever
didn't bow down.
is.
She wouldn't bow down. I did 21 days in rehab. It's time for you to bow down. She wouldn't.
Like, where you been at? Where you been? Now you want to come in the door? You want to talk about running something? Where you was at?
360. That was a mini argument. A mini argument.
I did 3 weeks. It's time for you to get in line. I got 3 weeks clean.
The money. I'm going to do this.
Give me the money.
That line wasn't straight, right? It wasn't straight enough.
She wasn't bowed down like that.
Yeah, she wasn't giving up the fight. That's how I was. You know, we had to learn. We had to learn how to love each other. we had, and I always say this because I used to go to church with jeans and sneakers on, and my pastor's wife had to groom me into, I always knew how to dress like a lady, but I didn't always act like one because that wasn't the kind of background I came from. I came from the background where I'm straight thugging. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to wear the jeans and sneakers. I'm going to put the baseball cap on. And I'm going to do crazy stuff. And I'm going to be loud. And I'm going to be disrespectful from the mouth. And now all that stuff God just took away. So I don't have to, I don't have to cuss nobody out. I don't have to act unrudely. All I got to do is act like a lady and be the lady that God created me to be.
Yes.
And I see that. And I'll be like, wow, God, is this what it came to? I'm so grateful.
Aren't you? Isn't it?
Every time I walk through Atlantic City, I say, God, I am so grateful. And I can't pull enough people. I wish I could pull everybody and get them to come in.
But everybody is going because the vision that I have that God gave me is He's going to always give us connect us with the people that He want us to be a part of what we're doing. And just to have you and how your dedication and everything is for just what you're doing. I remember my wife and I, when we was doing at our church, it's called Victorious Living. And I remember sometimes when we would do it every Thursday night, sometimes it might be one person that come. And we would do that thing with that one person. It'd be me, her, and that one person. And we would do just like if it was 1 million people, we would do the exact same assignment that we had for that day, and we would stay dedicated and stay committed to what our pastor had us doing, no matter how many people came to the meeting. So, and that's your same dedication that you have there. And God I always say, we might not be perfect, but God do reward faithfulness. You might mess up, but He will not ignore someone who is faithful to something. When you're faithful to it, He just won't ignore it.
And I'll be honest, when we were doing that and it started dwindling, and sometimes we would get off work and then he had to go get the van,
pick the people up.
Then he got to go right around, to pick the people up. And I'm not coming. So we don't rode all around to Bridgeton, Millville, Vineland, Seabrook, and maybe one person got on the van and we come back. I would be more the person. I would be the one like, okay, babe, maybe we shouldn't do it this week. I'm just honest because I'm thinking that's time we done been at work all day. That's time that because I love being up under my husband. So that's we could be spending together. But my husband, he has taught me that one person is just as important as 10. I was not that I didn't want to, but it was just like, what's the value? I would feel like that. Like, what are we running all over, spending hours and nobody showing up? It's just one person. But then I always remember he will leave the 9 and go back and look for that one lost sheep.
Absolutely.
That one person.
That one lost sheep.
Absolutely, because we had did a celebrate recovery down at Linwood Community. We wasn't even members there, but the pastor asked my husband as the male of the group to facilitate his group at his church.
Wow.
So we down there and it's 3 of us. I'm like, all right, babe, I'm getting ready to stop going. I ain't gonna keep doing this. I'm riding to Atlantic City on a van trying to pick people up from the mission to come. And I'm like, ain't nobody coming. I ain't going to keep doing this. We ain't going to keep doing this. So finally, that's when Julie called me and she was like, I got somebody to meet. I want you to meet. And I said, who? She said, do you know Mickey Williams? I said, yeah, we grew up in Atlantic City. Yeah. She said, he got a group. You need to come on over here. And that's where I've been ever since. With minor adjustment. And that group in Linwood, we might have been there because that might have been a place where God needed us to be to grow and learn some stuff. That's right. But that's not where God really needs us at, because that's not even our area. So we're going to stay in our area right here, minor adjustment, and do what we need to do over here. That ain't our area. Sometimes you go step somewhere else where you ain't supposed to be at. And if God don't want you there, He either going to make it easy for you or it's going to be rough for you. And that wasn't the area where we needed to be.
That's awesome. I want to touch on something you said earlier when you was like, um, you had to learn how to be the woman that God created you to be.
Wow.
Like you said, you used to come to church in your jeans and your sneakers. I'm a jeans and heel girl. I love jeans. I like my heels with my jeans, but I love that. But I am as thuggish as I think I am. I'm girly. And I remember telling my husband, because I always had to be the strong one. I always had to handle things that I shouldn't have had to handle. So relinquishing that when he got himself together, when God started doing some work, was hard. But I remember telling him one time, I just want to be a damsel in distress. I don't want to be the one that's always solving everything.
I just want to be the woman.
I just want to be the woman. So when you said that, yeah. I remember having that conversation with him in our darker days. I was like, listen, I just want to be the woman. How does that feel?
Oh my God. Listen, to allow God to shape and mold you and make you that woman and know you that girly girl, and you ain't that hip, fatally cool young lady that you think you are when you out there with the people. When people see me now and they like, wow, God did something in you, because you ain't like you used to be. Because I remember you used to be fired up. You would cuss us out. And now you just like real meek and calm. And wow. I'm like, thank you. Like really. Like, thank you. That ain't me. That's God. And I'm grateful. And they be like, I can't believe that's coming out of your mouth. Like, I don't snap, because I used to be ready to fight.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say nothing to me. But I don't have to do that now. I can let the Lord fight my battles, and I can sit still.
And it's so, because when you look at you, you don't look like that ever was part of your character.
Oh yeah, it was.
See, that's what people don't. They need to know that you can look at a person, you're like, she never had that issue, but you did.
Yeah. And I tell people, listen, that girl is like close, but I don't deal with her. But she can come back if you take me there.
But God,
come back.
But God.
Lord, don't let that chick come back near me. She gone.
You gotta kill her daily, huh? I understand.
Yeah, she gone. I don't even need her. She gone. It's a new me, new way of living.
Oh my goodness. Amen.
It's definitely awesome.
Did you ever dream or imagine that you will be doing what you're doing now, like helping people?
No.
Your whole area of your life is, even your job, everything you do is centered around helping people. Did you ever dream that you would be doing something like that? No.
Somebody told me and my husband we had the gifts to help, and I was like, really? and we do, really? But I remember when I went to New York, I think I had it was about a year after I had got myself together. We was in New York. I was with my pastor's wife and a couple other women from the ministry. Mm-hmm. And this lady just came up to me out of the clear blue sky and said, "You gonna be the one that's going to be able to help women." And I'm looking at her like, yeah, okay. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't doing that. And it keeps constantly coming back to me, keeps coming back. You're going to be the one that's going to be able to help women. And then I came and I seen that the lady was opening up this house for these women, and I kept saying, I want to work there. And I ended up working there. And I left and I just came back. But I treat the women with a kindness that they probably don't even understand why I do it. Yeah. But they know my story, because I tell them, I don't tell them everything, but I tell them the things that they need to hear, that it's a way out. Y'all might not do it my way, but if you do it this way, you can stay out of it. You don't have to keep going backwards. You can go forward. And they like, Miss Lonnie, you know, and do I get them? Yes, I get them. But at the same time, I love them in a loving and kind way that they can't take it and like, wow, this lady hurt my feelings and she ain't do nothing to try to help me get better. Like, if I say something to them, I always come back with, look, this is what you could do to get better. Find the solution, instead of always beating them down. Because women in addiction, when they out there in their addiction, they get beat down so much from the stuff that they do. Like nowadays, the girls is out here doing all kinds of stuff and any and everything to get one more, and they really selling themselves short. Lucky I didn't have to do that because I had my husband and I was doing sneaky stuff to him in the house where I didn't have to go outside and do anything on the outside because I was in his wallet while he was asleep. Until he learned how to tie his wallet, put it in his wallet. He sold his wallet. He had his wallet in the pillowcase. Like, you won't get this one.
I was gonna say I used to put my wallet underneath the mattress. So if you was gonna get this wallet, you had to get the mattress.
She used to put her wallet under the mattress. Yeah, because we did some crazy stuff. And that's, and you know, I always tell the ladies, that's not who you are. That's what you did.
That's
you can't
true.
allow people to label you with telling you that's who you are. No, it's not. That's the behavior that you participated in to get one more. That's what you did, not who you are.
I tell
a lot of women, when I say that to them, they look at me like, wow, I never looked at it that way. You just did things to get where you needed to be at that time. It's grateful. Because it could have turned another way. Somebody else could have had my husband, girl.
Look.
But God said, ain't happening.
It was your husband. I want to take the time to put a plug in there because you said something, and I'm always telling people that enter my office, where I work, people that I encounter that are struggling or that are doing things that they think they're ashamed of or whatever. I always tell them that, one, there's nothing you can do that's going to separate you from the love of God.
Amen.
But do not mistake what you like for being who you are, because a lot of times you get labeled for things that you like.
You like to do.
But that doesn't mean that's you.
That's you.
Because I tell everybody, and I always use this analogy, and they laugh, but I said, my favorite color is green. It's obvious I'm not green, but I like green.
Right.
So if what I do or if what I like made me who I was, I would be green in color.
Uh-huh.
So I want to take that little plug and tell people, don't get caught up in the labels that people put on you because of some things that you're caught up in. And quite honestly, I remember I asked Mick, what are you doing? At one time he told me he just liked to get high. So if it's something that you just like,
it's not who you are.
That's not who you are.
Yeah, it's something you like to do.
So don't let people label you because of what you're doing or what you like.
Amen. That's
definitely not who you are. But to get to know who you are, you have to ask the person that created you.
Come on, girl, preach.
And then you have like certain people that want to take and throw your past up. Like, I remember when I had a family member do that to me, and I said to her, I said, don't talk about my past, because I could put my past up on a billboard and let the whole world know what happened with me. Can you? She's like, she got quiet. I said, okay, then don't throw mine. And then that week you called me and said, sis, the lady from Breaking AC wanted to do a story on you. And I'm like, you know what?
Put your past
like, okay, God, you got jokes.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah,
put your past on that billboard.
Yeah, he said, let me see if you really gonna do it. So I try not to, because my past is just that. It's over. That ain't who I am. I ain't there no more. But God has taught me that sometimes you have to reach back there to help somebody else come through. Because you can't always be selfish enough to not want to help another person, because you don't have to give them everything. I remember a professor in you probably know her, Dean English. She used to say stuff like, eat the meat and spit the bone out when we was in Bible college. So I always say that to the women. Listen, if it's something that you can take and use it. But if you can't, throw it away. I said, you know, my dean of my school used to say to me, you know, eat the meat and spit the bone out. But sometimes people be trying to eat the meat and swallow the bone and everything, and that ain't what you should do. You can't digest it like that. You got to take it easy. Some people can't even chew the meat. And they might not even
minor
adjustments.
Small amounts, small steps.
It's a lot of things that you have to do. So you can't just try to get it all back at once. Actually, August 1st, I'll be 9 years removed from it. In August.
Oh, now say so, brother. Say so. I'm so happy.
9 years. But I tell my clients, I tell people I'm talking to, whoever is going through whatever, I tell them, I didn't get 9 years in one day. It took a period of time.
Right.
I just made sure that I didn't go backwards, I went forward. As long
Right.
as you keep going forward, then you will
You're
accumulate
gonna
the
be
time
fine.
away
Right.
from where your past, and use your past, literally use your past to push you into your destiny. It's
And I like that
Yeah.
because you want to go anywhere but backwards. And when he said when we were on our journey, when we started this thing and he started being clean and God started dealing with me about my own little things, um, we still made mistakes. But I always remember, you know what people, the long jumpers, they do the long jump. When they jump, a lot of times to jump that far, you get off balance and you fall. But what does the trainer
Right.
always tell them? Fall
fall
forward.
forward.
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah, you fall
That's a
forward
good one.
because
Yeah,
wherever
you
you
know,
fall
sometimes you
backwards
you
at,
have to
wherever your hands land
They
backwards,
measure from
that's where
there.
you measure from.
Fall
Fall
absolutely
forward.
fall forward. I'm gonna go to work with them ladies. We talking crazy. I'm gonna be like fall forward. I'm like, get your life. That's what I say to them. Stuff like, get your life, pull yourself together, because it ain't that serious. You can do better than what you're doing. You just used to just being stuck. Listen. I tell everybody right now, I'm living my best life with
Yeah,
peace in it.
too.
I'm
yeah,
living my best life. I listen. I have situations and circumstances, but I do not let them get the best of me.
yeah.
I
Amen.
learned that from my husband, how to be content in whatever state you found. Because I used to be like, babe, how we gonna pay this? Babe, how we gonna pay that? Babe, how we gonna do this? And
That's
he just
me.
be sitting there. He be sitting there looking at me like, I don't know why you even panicking. Do you know who we serve? I
Yeah.
remember I had lost my job and I came home. I was going through, because when I don't work, I go through a emotion. I leave a job, I have to go right out the door and start looking for another job. I can't sit in that spot. It's very uncomfortable. So he said, okay, you go find another job. He always held it together when I didn't know that deep down inside he was hurting
Hmm.
because of all the mess that I had did. He was hurting, but he still kept that poker face.
Yeah,
You always say, babe, you got to learn how to do that poker face. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. He like, because you wear your feelings
On
on
you.
your sleeves and people can see it. And I finally learned how to do that. But it was only because of watching him. And I got my job, got another job, and I lost another job. He's like, okay, babe, we've been here before. We've been here. We got through it. We're going to get through it again. And then it happened to him. And I looked at him and said, we've been here before.
Right on the
We
money.
gonna get through it, and we did. So sometimes God put husband and wives through a test just to see how
yeah,
they gonna walk through it. See
yeah.
how hard.
You know
See
they
if they who's
respond.
gonna shake.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
if both of y'all are holding on and strong, and y'all know that the foundation is strong, nothing can break you.
yeah,
But that's
Nothing. My husband always say, if somebody, I need to know what you're doing before somebody in the street come and tell me. Because if somebody in the street come and
look,
tell me,
that's
then you wrong.
she said that. She
I
said
need to
I'd
know
rather know
everything,
first. I
detail
don't
to
care what it
detail.
is.
So now I'll be like,
I'd
babe,
rather know first.
I tell him everything.
that's why you
Now, when me and my sister go shopping,
That's different.
clothes shopping,
That's different.
that's definitely different.
house. Yeah, I used to tell him that too. I don't care how bad it is. Let me hear from you. Don't let somebody come and tell me something about my husband.
Right,
I should know first. And we had
right.
to get to that point. You don't get it all
Over.
at
Yeah,
all
you
at
have to
once.
grow to it. Yeah.
But I like what you said about your husband, and I want to put that out there. We have a couple more minutes. One day we were driving, we were going to see Mike and Dee Dee Freeman. I love them. So we were going there. We had another couple, and I just asked the wife, you know, what is it about your husband that feeds you? And she didn't quite understand my question, so I gave her an example. I said, and he was shocked because he didn't know. I never told him, but I was like, my husband's faith feeds me because me, women like security, so I like to see the money in the bank.
Yeah.
That way, if something happened, we ain't stressing because it's there. I
Yeah.
like to see everything in its place
Yes.
because I like to be secure. If something just out of the blue comes, I'm a little right, but he's not. He's always just like your husband is. You know who God we serve? Babe, God got to take care of it. God got to provide it. He
Yeah.
does that, and He does it so much now. When I go to Him and I'm like that, I'm expecting Him to
Right.
feed me that. Without me
Right.
saying it, I'm expecting it. So when I go to Him now, I'm going to Him just for that thing. But His faith feeds me. And when you said how your husband had that poker face and he always like, you know what God we serve, and we're gonna be all right, babe. We've been here before. And then when it hit him,
You gave it back.
you gave back what he had been
Giving
feeding
you.
you.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah. What we gonna do? What we gonna do?
But that's how when someone feeds you like that, that's the purpose of how God orchestrated, because there always come a time when you need it. And I remember recently I was cracking up when I wasn't cracking up when I was with her, but when I got away from her, I said something to her, right?
Uh-huh.
And we was getting something happen, and I spoke something, and I says, "Yo, but what if this happens?" She says, "Hold on." She said, "Hold on. You don't talk like that. You said it. You say it's not going to happen to your
Right.
child." And when I got away from her and got in my car, I said, she gave me back exactly
What
how
you
I
said.
talk. Because
Yeah.
I try to pry in the good sense of the word, use faith-filled words. When I speak, I want to speak from faith. They say this happened. I say, well, that's not going to happen to my family, or that's not going to happen to me or my child. And I said something and it wasn't faith-filled words, but she caught it automatically. She said, hold on. But you said that ain't gonna happen. I said, oh,
Like this is how my husband get me. And I say something, when he ain't really paying me no attention and he done prayed on it, and I'll say, babe, you know this, we gotta take care of this. And he be like, uh-huh, yeah. I'm like, okay, he really ain't paying me no attention because he done been upstairs praying. And one
right.
thing that I learned as his wife, and a lot of people don't understand, my husband has date night with his mother.
Yeah.
He goes and I don't go. It's
Mm-hmm.
him and her, their night, which is Tuesday. I don't go nowhere over there. And they always like, you come. No, because it's important that he spends time with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to me. I'm with him every day. And she respects that. And I know I could go over there, but I need him to spend that time with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not his mother, I'm his wife. And
Yeah.
because all the years that my mother-in-law lived somewhere else, he didn't get a chance to spend time with her. So unselfishly, I'm like, no, go over there with your mom. I'll stay home or I'll find something to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not coming. That's just something that I developed out of appreciation to my mother-in-law. I love her
Mm-hmm.
because she seen me go through some rough times, and she seen what I came out of. Even during the time when I lost my mom, y'all, I had 7 years clean. My mom died 2 weeks after. And
Wow.
that took a lot out of me. But I held on.
But
And
she
I
got to
had
see
to
her
I had to
baby
clean
girl
to
clean.
God.
But she got to see her baby girl clean, right?
Right. And my sister, she got her life together. My sister got her life together in the midst of me getting my life together. Now we like ride or die chicks for
That's
Jesus.
something. Mom got to see that. That's awesome, Miss Lonzetta. That's awesome. Well,
Leave us with
we're running short
one
on
thing.
time, so I want you to leave something that you would want our viewers to take home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, please remember, if you're out there struggling, get the help that you need. Go to somebody, get some help, because it's not just your problem, it's your family's problem. Um, I know trying to change your lifestyle is not easy, but if you take it one step at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time, it gets better. But you just got to surrender and ask God to help. I know everybody has a sense of faith somewhere in them
Mhm.
because we all grew up with some kind of belief system. So we got to ask for help. We can't just fake the fake. We got to want the help. So I encourage anybody, if you see me or you see my brother and sister, you could come to us and ask us. we'll direct you in the direction of help. And if we don't have the help to be able to help you, we'll find it. But most of all, before you walk away from us, we're going to give you some prayer.
Prayer.
Yeah.
We're going to pray for you.
We're going to pray. We're going to pray about this.
We're going to pray your shoes off. So but
know
listen, I'm saying any husbands or wives out there, even if it's not a drug addiction or alcohol addiction, if it's just struggling in your marriage because of something that happened, be encouraged. Like, change your lifestyle and allow God to move, because God is calling for the true believers right now. He wants us to do some work. He don't want us to be slouching around acting like we don't know what to do. So I'm gonna encourage y'all to keep up that good work that God has y'all doing.
God bless.
Because it's awesome to see a young couple striving to help people that need help, even the ones that don't want it. As soon as they see you, they see that shine, they like, oh my God. And I'm going to say this to you, brother. It's a guy where I work. He said, oh man, look at Mick. He doing good. Yeah, I had your book with me. I had the book with me. I had this one and I had the other one. My purpose is greater than my struggle. They're like, oh man, look at Mick. He look good. I'm like, yeah, Mick doing his thing. Look at his wife on the other side. She right there down there holding it down with her. So just know that you have people in your hometown just appreciating what you do.
Amen.
And it might not seem like it, but they do.
Amen.
They do. So y'all be encouraged and keep on stomping for Jesus. Keep on stomping for Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it was a good show today. So thank you again. And any we'll be in touch with you, okay?
Yeah.
Tell your husband.
We say, hey.
Hey, wait a minute. Come here. Come over here. Put your face right here. Come on. They need to see your face. You didn't hit long enough. Come on. Walk on over here. Here he come, y'all. So y'all can say hey to him.
Yes.
He said he ain't high. He just quiet, sitting in the background. There you go.
Praise the Lord. Good to see
Hey,
you.
praise the Lord, Pastor. Praise the Lord, Pastor.
I'm wonderful, sir.
Amen, man. Thank you, man, for allowing us to have this time with your wife. I know y'all probably wanted to go do a lot of other stuff, but thanks for allowing her to be on a Minor Adjustments online show, and we will see you soon.
What area is your church?
Our church is in Galloway. Well,
put that
on Wrangleburg Road.
What's the address again?
506 South Pomona Road.
Okay, anybody near there and you don't have no church home, then go visit her and contact either one of them, and they can get y'all to come see their pastor, visit their church and everything. Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all.
That's right. Love you guys.
Love
y'all. Have dinner.
We gotta have dinner, y'all. All right, God bless y'all.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye. All right.
Now, since we said that, for any listeners or viewers that are out there in Cumberland County and you don't have a church home, feel free to worship with us on Sundays mornings at Glory Tabernacle, where our bishop is none other than David Hadley Sr. and our First Lady, Darlene Hadley. Beautiful church. I've been there since I was 9 years old, y'all. It's like home. It's a home feel when you walk through the door. And most of all, you're going to get the unadulterated word of God. Yeah. You're going to get it straight from that word. Nothing else. So if you don't have a church home, if you're in Galloway area, you visit Sister Lonzetta's church. If you're in our area, Bridgeton, Millville, Vineland, you can visit Glory Tabernacle. But if you're right there in your seats, God is right there.
Without you going to any building.
You can talk to him. You can talk to him at any point, but get with a group of believers. Bible believers. For strength.
And again, a lot of people always talk about who they're over, and they never talk about who they're under. And I believe that a person will go farther if they're under someone before they'll be over someone. And we are under Bishop David Adam Hadley Sr., First Lady Darlene Hadley at Glory Tabernacle Church. I thank them. I love them. They are friends. And they're, more importantly, they are covering at our own home church. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show. And Minor Adjustments Online Talk Show was created to inspire, encourage, give hope, and to stir up the greatness that people have inside of them. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. That came from Jeremiah 7:24 that says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they followed the counsel of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards instead of forward. Our motto, anywhere but backwards. God bless y'all. Tune in next week at 6 p.m. We'll tell y'all the guest, who the guest will be Monday morning. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, Lonzetta.
Bye.
It was